Hello, good evening. Welcome to the second episode of my new series, and in this one, I'm introducing you to a beauty expert. Yes, I know you're thinking that we will talk about fashion, we will talk about looking good, but that's not what it's gonna be. We will talk about how entrepreneurship in beauty industry can actually make you stand out if you are consistent, you are focused and driven. So we all know that beauty is not skin deep, and we all still want to look beautiful. What do we do to have that beauty inside us that makes us look amazing is something we are going to ask from my friend today. So today with me is Gillian Elsworth. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Nousheen. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. It's amazing that we have just met in summer through internet, and we decided that we have a lot in common and we should be together. Now that she has moved to Dubai, we are very good friends and we have a lot to share with you today. So Gillian, tell us about yourself, how you became a beauty expert, a consultant and a trainer.
Yes, well, it goes back quite a long time. I've been in the beauty industry now for a good 20 plus,
That's
almost 30 years. Originally trained in the UK to the top international qualifications, and my career first started in the UK working in various companies there as a therapist, and then I went on board the cruise ships. My adventurous streak sort of kicked in. I wanted to get out of the UK and travel a while, so I joined the cruise ships.
So you were a spa consultant on the ships?
No, not a spa consultant back then. I was a therapist, actually. I was still working as a therapist. So a lot of hands-on treatments, customer service, basically beautifying the passengers on board the cruise ships.
Wow.
While I got to sail the world at the same time.
That truly is very adventurous.
Yes.
Now I'm envying you.
Having a bit of an adventure as well as the hard work. Yes, I would say definitely a great experience that I could recommend to anybody. Very valuable experience and great memories. And then from there I went on to, I think once the travel bug kicks in, it's a bit hard to go home, a bit hard to go back to the UK at the time. So I went to Vancouver, Canada. I worked in a very high-end salon there for some time, where we used to have quite a celebrity following when they were in town filming.
Okay.
We used to get a lot of actresses and actors coming from LA filming in Vancouver at the time.
So this is the reason they call you the celebrity therapist?
Yes, well, I guess so.
Wow. It's a title,
yes,
you know?
but various celebrities have popped into some of the places where I've worked over the years, yes. Yeah. So yes, at the time I had Sharon Stone as one of the clients, ironically. Various other people, actually, without naming names.
Yeah.
So I was living and working in Vancouver, Canada for some time, before then moving over to Asia. So I spent a lot of, almost half my life in Asia Pacific.
That's a complete shift from Canada to Asia. You're going to different parts
completely
of the world,
different.
Completely different culture,
Yes.
different climate, different environment for you.
Yes.
So how did you manage to adjust?
I guess I'm a very adaptable person.
Yes,
I can
that.
pretty much live and mingle in any country, actually, and with any. I'm used to working and living with all nationalities, races, religions, cultures, countries. So I think you have to be a certain personality. You've got to be very versatile and adaptable.
Yes.
Very patient. Otherwise, you may as well stay home, right, in your own hometown. So yes, I went over to Asia initially for a holiday, and never had any intention initially of setting up home there. So I visited the Philippines first of all for a few months, and then I landed in Hong Kong. Again, it was all just a bit of an adventure. At the time, it was a British colony, so very easy for me to stay and work there. Which was one reason why I decided to maybe give it a try and see how things would go. So I worked in various beauty salons. I was actually teaching, I got some teaching experience in 2 international French beauty schools in Hong Kong. So I was doing that for some time. before going on to opening my own company and setting up my own salon.
Oh yes, the entrepreneurship part that brings
Yes.
her and connects her to me.
Yes.
The seed of being independent, the passion that you pursue all your life, right?
Yes, yes.
So I was wondering when we were discussing before we started shooting, how did you were able to spend your entire life in the beauty industry? And unlike myself, I career switched. She never did that. So I want to know, Gillian, what kept you going on and on and on in the same industry without saying that, okay, this is the time, now I need some change?
Well, actually, before I went into the beauty industry, I had some other working experience. I'd been in retail, mostly in fashion, makeup. I'm also a certified makeup artist. I'd worked in fashion, jewellery, makeup for some time. I did a bit of modelling in my early years, in my 20s, fashion modelling and things. And so once I got into, going back to your initial question, I always had an interest in the beauty industry from being a teenager, from being about 13 actually. From being a young teenager, I was always interested in all the, looking through the teenage magazines, looking at all the different makeup looks.
The style stuff.
Yeah, reading about all the different products and the skin types. And my friend and I used to always practice different makeup looks at home or on each other as teenagers. So I guess I was always destined for this profession in a way. I was always interested.
It comes from inside.
Something from inside, from a young age. So as I mentioned, I went into retail and fashion for a while, and then I decided to go back to college and pursue what was always lingering there, pursue the beauty profession. And I've never really looked back. I've never regretted it, even though of course everything has its frustrations.
I think it's because it's so naturally you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's true.
So you could simply go on and on.
Yeah, I think, what I would say is passion inside. You have to really love what you do. Obviously, if I didn't love what I do, then I would have had to change it by now. I still love what I do. I never get bored, because in the beauty industry, there's always something new. New products, new machines, new treatments. There's always we're not stuck with the same set of things day in and day out. Wherever we work, whichever country we're in, whichever company we work for, or even running our own businesses, we now have access to a lot of very high-tech machines and equipment, a lot of advanced equipment that we're now using. Of course, we have to be properly trained and certified to use these things.
So that's where your passion for teaching and training the young beauty experts come in.
Yes.
Your awareness of industry trends, your experiences from so many years in so many different countries.
Sure.
So tell us more about how many different people you've trained and how well did they do. Were you able to inspire them towards something? Share some of your experiences.
Yes, well, also when I was based in Asia, in Hong Kong for so many years, as well as running my own salon for the last 15 years or so, I was also a freelance trainer. I was an international trainer for various big brands of skincare products and machinery equipment. So I would travel around, I would get booked, asked to teach the spa staff in many of the top 5-star hotel spas and resorts in Hong Kong and around the whole of Asia Pacific. So I used to be sent to Japan, Singapore, China a lot in the past. China, Taiwan, Korea, Singapore, Japan, Australia, and I've also done, of course, some spa training and consulting here too in Dubai and the UAE over the years.
Okay, that's cool.
So back to the Asian experience, yes, I used to teach also the spa staff in Chibusam Health Resort in Thailand. So basically what we do is, ideally the therapists are supposed to be already trained, fully trained therapists, because they're working in these top spas, top resorts. But what we do in the senior level as the international trainer or senior estheticians, consultants, we go in and we help to upgrade the standards. So helping to elevate the standards, make sure the staff are all up to scratch, teaching them the latest techniques or various maybe new treatments, new equipment that maybe the hotel, spa is just brought on board, and we have to go teach them to make sure they properly know how to use it. Depending on which company we're representing, that sometimes involves a certificate at the end of the training. There'll be an exam and a certificate. So I really do enjoy the teaching and training. That's my passion also. Teaching, and I never get bored. As I say, there's always something new. The teaching, the training aspect I like.
What was the most interesting experience in Hong Kong for you? The most interesting, something that you remembered and can still tell me.
Oh gosh, you caught me there. I'm not sure. It was all very interesting most of the time.
Anything that comes to your mind?
I guess looking back now, one of the main things that comes to my mind was when I was teaching in one of the French beauty schools there. We used to have some VIP clients that would come in. I don't like to be mentioning names because maybe confidentiality reasons, but we used to have some very high-end stars come in, or people related to famous designers or jewelries, the wives or things. And it was interesting to meet them and hear their stories and their lifestyle. So, in fact, I love to hear I love to listen, and actually more comfortable listening to other people's stories than telling my own, to be honest. I like to listen to people, learn about their background and how they got to where they are. And I'm always interested to meet new people and learn.
Do you think attitude towards beauty and the way you carry yourself has something to do with culture?
Yes, I would say yes. I guess one general thing amongst most cultures, of course, most women, not everyone, but most women want to look pretty and beautiful. Everybody. Maybe some don't care. You never know. I think it varies from person to person. I'm not sure about the whole culture generalization.